Yes, actually, it does. It looks like we're in the same area.
Exactly. Well, first of all, I got to ask you a question. Do you feel like you're a sales rep or a salesman or a servant leader?
I would probably say servant. At first glance, I might say, yes, there's a difference. But then when you really think about it, is there?
I think it can be, but it's really on who you are. I think it's like really getting to know, like, when it says, I think we're all called, I think we all have a gift.
Hmm.
And I think that's one of the gifts that, like you said, the spirit of being your spirit. What is your, let's ask that, in your spirit, what do your spirit feel like when you want to go out there?
Well, I look at it, because even since you've posed the question, I'm thinking about it. So now I kind of think a servant is going to be more towards like serving others, and I think a salesman could be more me focused, if that makes sense.
Oh, wow.
Um, and I think that when you have a service or product or whatever that is, once you take you out of it, and do you have something? I want to say maybe it was Jim Rohn who said that, the person who solves the most problems is the person that who will be like super successful. So when you think of being a person who solves the most problems, I think you're more focused on others. And I mean, like, take the guy who came up with the concept of a vacuum cleaner. He came up with that concept because he was beating rugs, and the dust from the rugs as he was beating them, it was bothering him breathing, or he was getting choked up or whatever. So his thought was, there's got to be a better way to clean these rugs and not beat them to death, and I have to breathe in all of this dust. There's got to be a better way. And so in him trying to come up with that better way for him, he actually solved the problem for millions of us, to the point that there's a vacuum cleaner in every household.
Absolutely. I like that. And I think that's, so I would actually say we start off as a salesman. You
Hmm.
start off as a salesman when you say focus on yourself. Salesman is selling you.
Hmm.
Servant is serving others.
Yes.
What do you think about that point? I think that would be
I
more.
think that's good. That makes sense too, because you start off serving you. And I think that there has to be almost like a moment of clarity, a aha moment, when you figure out, wait a minute, you know, how about if I take that same energy and serve others? And you got to have that moment, and some of us never do get to that moment. So I think we will experience a certain level of success, but I think we won't go next level until we have that realization, that aha moment, or like this point starts to resonate with us, like we talked about earlier today. A lot of us, once you get past the, does the word salesman have a negative connotation? Because if you ask someone, are you a salesman or a servant? Oh, I'm not a salesman. I'll just pick servant. I don't want to be no salesman. Okay, but once you realize that throughout your life, at different phases in your life, when you went on that first job interview, or the second or third or fourth job interview, or when you went through the first relationship or the second or third relationship, you were selling yourself. You sold yourself, and it started off on a piece of paper as a resume. You were selling yourself. You continued to sell yourself once you got the phone call and had to show up for the interview. Now you really have to sell yourself. or when you go on that date, you have to sell yourself. When you go through your selfies and figure out which one you're going to put on the website, because what you're going to put your best foot forward. You are selling yourself when you put your best foot forward. And at some point you realize, well, wait a minute, if that's what I've been doing all this time, and that's a way of selling yourself and marketing yourself.
Well,
And
that sounds more like a salesman. See, that I think that's where, and a lot of time, you have to be. It's like it says. I remember this one point, and I'm gonna get off here, but it was like when I went to the Bible, and I was like, "Do she love me?" That's not the way you go to the Bible. You don't go to the Bible looking for self, or do you go to the Bible looking for yourself?
well, let's think about it. Go to the Bible. Even if you go into the Bible with the wrong viewpoint, at least go.
Exactly.
Let's get you there. We'll
Exactly.
sort it out once you get there. Let's get you there. That's the big thing.
Wow, that's good
Okay?
stuff right there.
Right? Let's get you
Hmm.
there.
That's
Now
good.
that we got you, now that you here and you have showed up, okay, now let's address everything
Everything else.
else. I mean, because
Wow.
when you think about it, it starts, everything starts with you within. And then once you get that understanding, then we could go to the next level. How do you take that inner understanding that you have now, and let's turn that around and apply that to everything else that we do? That part.
Perfect. Thank you. Ding, 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 ding. That was good, man. I appreciate you. Have a great day.
Bye bye.